Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm going to break down the Kansas City Royals advancing to the ALDS after defeating the Baltimore Orioles in the Wild Card Series. So, ladies and gentlemen, Royals fans out there, your Kansas City Royals just defeated the Baltimore Orioles, sweeping them in the Wild Card Series to advance to the ALDS, which is going to be played against the New York Yankees. But first and foremost, I just want to say that this is a different video than you guys are used to, but I'm a massive Royals fan, and I'm sure a lot of you Chiefs fans out there also follow the Kansas City Royals, and it's been a long time since we've had postseason baseball in Kansas City, and a long time since we've had a postseason win. The Royals sweeping the Orioles is their first playoff series win since 2015. Even their first playoff win since 2015, which is over 9 years ago. It has been 9 long summers of winless baseball before Bobby Witt Jr. and the boys delivered a clutch playoff series win on the road against a very good Baltimore Orioles team. And listen, I think that you have to be a little bit cautiously optimistic about this upcoming series against the Yankees. But I want to give a huge shout out to the Royals pitching staff, and specifically the Royals bullpen. The Royals bullpen had been shaky all year long, and towards the last month of the season, they really were able to lock it down. And they've been a huge strong point of this team, shutting down games when the offense maybe didn't produce. And that was the case in both of these games. Like, you had Cole Reagans pitch an absolute gem in game 1, followed by great bullpen help from, Sam Long. You had Ursig come in and shut the door on both games and get the save. In that second game, Lugo pitched a great outing, and then you saw Angel Zerpa come in and shut that game down with, the bases loaded and nobody out. So we saw this Royals team come up clutch in areas that I was not expecting. Listen, the offense still needs some work. Bobby Witt Jr. has driven in the go-ahead run in both games, getting it done with his legs. But at the same time, we need to see what this offense can do against a very talented Yankees team that has a much higher payroll than the Kansas City Royals. But let's be honest, guys, that is the beauty of postseason baseball. That is the thing that, is so enticing about it, is that anybody can win. It's a brand new season. It doesn't matter if you have the highest payroll in baseball or the best record in baseball. It is a best of 5 series now. And before this, the Royals only had to win 2 games. And they went to Baltimore and took care of business. The Orioles scored 1 run in that entire series, and it was a Cedric Mullins home run that happened when nobody was on base. So 1 run was all the Baltimore Orioles could scratch off this Royals pitching staff. So you have to give, a massive standing ovation to not only the starting pitchers of Lugo and Reagans, but also the bullpen. Zerpa, Ursig, Bubic, Sam Long. We saw all of these guys step up in big ways, and the defense was able to help them out and keep them in games. Listen, there were a couple plays that, whether Bobby Witt Jr. made or MJ Melendez sliding in the outfield, this defense is a massive reason why you were able to sweep the Orioles. And listen, this is textbook Royals baseball. We're going to steal bases, we're going to play great defense, and we're going to give you good pitching, and that is a recipe for success in the postseason. The Royals have just about as much postseason success as the New York Yankees in the past 10 years, but the Yankees have a significantly higher payroll. And so that's why this next series is so enticing, because the Yankees have Garrett Cole, they have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, but at the end of the day, the Royals have a pitching staff that, whether it's Lugo or Reagans or Waka or even Singer, I feel confident with whoever they throw out there to give you 5 or 6 innings of 2 to 3 run baseball, a quality start. And hopefully we see this offense step up, because like I said, it was basically Bobby Witt Jr. carrying the load of this offense. Michael Garcia had a good series, but most of the time the Royals were, striking out when those big at-bats came. and the bases were loaded, and they had opportunities to score some of those runners, but it didn't necessarily happen. And so against the Yankees, you've got to be able to convert more of those. With the bases loaded and nobody out, the expectation is to get at least one. I would like to get 2 or 3, but the expectation should be to scratch across at least one run. And listen, this offense was going to take some time to get back to the offense that we saw at the beginning of the season. You just got Vinny Pasquantino back for the playoffs, who delivered in yesterday's game. He had that hit for the first RBI of the game, and it put the Royals up 1-0. And in a very low-scoring series, every run was so important. And listen, for the true baseball junkies out there, the ones that live and die on every pitch, this series was incredibly entertaining. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat watching every single pitch, every single at-bat, because while they didn't score a bunch of runs, postseason baseball, every at-bat and every pitch is just so big. Everything is magnified, and it just felt like, every single pitch there was the drama of, oh my gosh, the Orioles could tie up the game or take the lead, or, maybe the Royals could get out of it. Like the drama that we saw in these 2 games. It's a great way to kick off postseason baseball. And to see the guys celebrating in Baltimore after this kind of win, it brought me chills, man. It brought me back to 2015. Listen, I'm a senior in college. I'm 2 semesters away from graduating with a bachelor's at the University of Kansas. The last time the Royals were good in the postseason, I was in 7th grade. And so those memories of the Royals going on those postseason runs, they're kind of ingrained in my, core memory. Like, I remember so much of 2014 and 2015, and to see this Royals team go out there, in 2024, a year where they already went from, being the worst team in Major League Baseball to, in a single offseason, going to the playoffs. That has not been done that many times in Major League Baseball history. And for them to win a playoff series, listen, I obviously want the Royals to continue winning, but it kind of feels like we're playing with house money right now. It feels like the Royals have already surpassed all of our expectations. They just won a playoff series on the road. But listen, this team is not satisfied. This team is not done. And I think that Bobby Witt Jr. and co. think that this team is special. I mean, when you've got 2 of the best starters in the American League with Lugo and Reagans, you're going to be in baseball games. You're going to have a chance to win every single game. And if this bullpen can continue playing lights out, listen, there's no limit to how far this Royals team can go. And so that's why there's just nothing like postseason baseball. There is nothing like Blue October. Seeing the Royals in this postseason run has just made me so nostalgic of what this team did 10 years ago. And so I'm so excited to see, how they continue to progress, if they can continue winning, because the Yankees are a good team and they're coming off of a bye. And so it's really going to depend on your starting pitching and the offense. The offense is going to have to score more than 3 runs in this series if they want to win. It's a best of 5. You've got to win 3. But the biggest thing about this series is since the Royals took care of business in Baltimore, your Kansas City Royals are going to host a playoff game. Kauffman Stadium is getting postseason baseball back. Like, that just brings me chills. Like, I'm going to be out there at the K. I want Royals fans to sell the K out. Let's show up and, support these guys, because what they are doing right now, it's surpassing all of our expectations. Nobody expected us to get this far, but as Bobby Witt Jr. said, we didn't come this far to come this far. This team is motivated. This team is playing with a certain swagger. Their identity is very similar to what this 2014-2015 team was. Listen, they're going to put the ball in play. They're going to steal bases. They're going to play great defense, and you're going to get good pitching from your starters in the bullpen. This team is looking very similar to what they were in 2014. And remember, nobody expected that 2014 Royals team to get as far as they did. But listen, when the Royals make it to the playoffs, it's special. It doesn't matter if there's a 15 or a 30-year drought. the Kansas City Royals always perform in the playoffs. It just might take a couple of years to get into the postseason. And so I'm so incredibly excited to see postseason baseball return to Kansas City and be at the K, because on Monday night, we are going to see the Royals and the Chiefs play at the same time. The Royals are going to be in New York and the Chiefs are going to be at Arrowhead Stadium. But the fact that we have two of our professional sports teams playing meaningful football or meaningful baseball at the same time is just ridiculous. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that, they write books about. They make movies about. And I'm just so excited to see what Bobby Witt Jr. and co. can do later on in the playoffs. Because listen, there's a real good shot that they continue to perform at a high level. And who's to say that we can't beat the Yankees? Listen, I know that the Yankees had their way with us in the 80s and George Brett couldn't really beat them. But this is a very different, Yankees team and a very different Royals team. And listen, if there's one thing that we have learned from watching this Royals team over the past decade, it's that when they're in, you have to take them seriously. If you don't take them seriously, they can hurt you. And while they might not be the hottest team in baseball, they're finding ways to win games any way possible. And in the postseason, a win is a win. You literally have to, win in advance. That is the ultimate goal. I don't care if the Royals play another 7-8 postseason games and win by 1 run. Now, my blood pressure's not going to like it, but just seeing this team close out games, you've got a closer in Lucas Erceg who just throws absolute gas and just comes in and locks it down for you every time. But it just feels like there's something special about this team. And I'm so excited, once again, to see this Royals team compete in October, in BlueOctober, and hopefully they can keep competing all the way to the World Series. So that's all I have for you guys. Again, the Kansas City Royals were able to take down and upset the Baltimore Orioles in Baltimore, winning the first 2 games of the series, of a best-of-3 series, sweeping Baltimore. Oh, here's a little statistic for you. The Baltimore Orioles are 0-9, or maybe it's 0-10 in their last 10 postseason games. The Royals are 5 of those postseason losses. So the Kansas City Royals, and really Kansas City sports teams in general, just own the city of Baltimore. And that just brings a giant smile to my face. So if you guys enjoyed this Kansas City Royals content, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. I fully plan on, maybe doing individual game recaps. That way I'm not grouping 2 games into one. But this is a very exciting time for me. The Chiefs are in full effect, and with the Royals making a postseason push, I'm going to be busy here on the channel. So if you do like this Royals content, hit that like button and comment below, letting me know that you like it, because I'll keep making it. Listen, if the Royals keep winning and the Royals keep playing, I'll be making content. And so I would love to hear your support in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this video, and go Royals!